Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Deuteronomy, the 27th chapter. And Moses, with the elders of Israel, commanded the people, saying, Keep all the commandments which I command you this day, and it shall be on the day when ye shall pass over Jordan, unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, that thou shalt set thee up great stones, and plaster them with plaster, and thou shalt write upon them all the words of this law. So this would be like almost like a constitution, like a place where you can actually see the laws written, that thou mayest go in unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, a land that floweth with milk and honey, as the Lord thy God, as the Lord Yahweh, God of thy fathers, hath promised thee. So when you go in there, this is one of the things you have to do. And this way anybody can come in and actually see those laws and know what it is, even though it should be taught to them already. Therefore it shall be, when ye be gone over Jordan, that ye shall set up these stones, which I command you this day, in Mount Ebal, and thou shalt plaster them with plaster. And that plaster, let's see how is this phrased. Okay, coated with plaster. Here it says that you shall whitewash them with lime, and this is likely in order to make the writings visible on it, or clearer, you could say. So verse 5, it says, And there shalt thou shalt thou build an altar unto the Lord thy God, an altar of stones. Thou shalt not lift up any iron tool upon them. Remember, when the law concerning the altar is, when you build an altar to the Lord of stone, it's not supposed to be hewn stone. That stone is not supposed to have any, tool, used to cut it or hit it. Thou shalt build the altar of the Lord thy God of whole stones. Thou shalt offer burnt offerings thereon unto the Lord thy God. And thou shalt offer peace offerings, and shalt eat there, and rejoice before the Lord thy God. And thou shalt write upon the stones all the words of this law very plainly. And Moses and the priests and the Levites spake unto all Israel, saying, Take heed and hearken, O Israel, this day thou art become the people of the Lord thy God. Thou shalt therefore obey the voice of the Lord thy God, and do his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day. And Moses charged the people the same day, saying, so he gave them a command, These shall stand upon Mount Gerizim to bless the people, when ye are come over Jordan, to the tribes, Simeon and Levi and Judah and Issachar and Joseph and Benjamin. That is, a couple chapters ago he mentioned right, the blessing and the curse, and how when you come into the land, you bless on one mount and you curse on the other. So the tribes that will pronounce the blessings on Mount Gerizim would be Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Joseph and Benjamin, which would be Ephraim. Verse 13, and these shall stand upon Mount. Okay, well that might actually include Ephraim and Manasseh, or the half tribe of it. And these shall stand upon Mount Ebal to curse. Reuben, Gad, Asher, Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali. And the Levites shall speak and say unto all the men of Israel with a loud voice, Cursed be the man that maketh any graven or molten image, an abomination unto the Lord Yahweh, the work of the hands of the craftsman, and putteth it in a secret place. And all the people shall answer and say, Amen. This is basically idol worshiping, right? Anybody that goes aside to make an idol and hides it to worship it, may that person suffer the curses of the Lord. And the congregation will respond and say, Amen, to confirm it. Cursed be he that setteth light by his father or his mother. This doesn't mean you go and light a candle next to them and you're cursed. To set light means to dishonor them. Okay. That's going back to the commandment to the Lord. And all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that removeth his neighbor's landmark. And all the people shall say, Amen. That is of their inheritance, moving the boundaries of their inheritance. Cursed be he that maketh the blind to wander out of the way. And all the people shall say, Amen, to mislead them, that is. Cursed be he that perverteth the judgment of the stranger, fatherless, and widow. And all the people shall say, Amen. And remember, these are things the Lord has already told us about. But the perverting is to basically to twist, right, or to commit injustice, right, in judgment concerning a case or a matter for the stranger, the fatherless, the widow, which really anybody in Israel for that matter, because the Lord said you're supposed to judge righteous judgment. Cursed be he that lieth with his father's wife, because he uncovereth his father's skirt, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that lieth with any manner of beast, that's bestiality, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that lieth with his sister, the daughter of his father, or the daughter of his mother, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that lieth with his mother-in-law, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that smiteth his neighbor secretly, that is murder, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed be he that taketh reward to slay an innocent person, and all the people shall say, Amen. So that is basically, somebody pays you off to go and murder somebody. That's off, right? Verse 26, Cursed be he that confirmeth not all the words of this law to do them, and all the people shall say, Amen, right? So that is one that does not, as it says, you don't confirm to do all the words of this law, so you end up, doing something else. You agree to the covenant and you go and do something else. You're not confirming this, right, in your heart or in your mind, and that curse will be upon you if you break it. So let's also read that. Same thing, right? NKJV, NLT. Cursed is anyone who does not affirm and obey the terms of these instructions. And all the people will reply, Amen. And that brings us to the end of the book of Deuteronomy, the 27th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Recha, Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.